Jesus' family comes to visit. They just show up at his office. And you know how it is when you've got a new job and you're a young man or woman and your mother shows up at the office. You know what that's like. Maybe Mary was a little embarrassing. Maybe she went around and told the office people, oh, you should have seen Jesus when he was little. You know, it's so cute the way he used to put his clothes on inside out. You know how moms can be. I'm not a mom like that, of course, but some moms might be a little embarrassing. Donna's not either, but, you know, Jody might have been embarrassing. Who knows? So Jesus' family shows up. Now, we would like to think that Jesus, as the Son of God, would have been, you know, above shunning his parent, his mom. But the traditional understanding of this scripture is that he does. That he sort of says, this is not my mom. Everybody's my mom. You know, get out of here. Meanwhile, there's this rumor going on around town to complicate matters that Jesus is in need of psychiatric assistance. And it appears that Mary and the kids agree that Jesus might need to talk to a therapist a little bit. And in the verses that we skipped, that when Christine read, is where Jesus goes into a long definition and defense on why he's not insane, why he's just fine, he's not in need of psychiatric assistance. But is Jesus really shunning his family? Is he really dissing Mary? Even though that's the traditional understanding, I think that rather than pushing Mary and his siblings away, what Jesus was actually doing in this scripture is adding to his family. Because family is more than just those with whom you're born or those with whom you live. Family isn't only biological, and family isn't only legal. Family is a lot more than just the people who are born to the same parents or adopted to the same parents or married into the same family system. Family means a whole lot more, and I think Jesus knew that. For one thing, families are geographical, and I think this is really true today. Today's families are really spread out. Now, quite a few people in this church, I think, actually live within a certain radius of a lot of their families. But in our town, like most towns in the metropolitan society, families are really spread out. My family is not unusual. We've got a core group of people in New Jersey. Ned's got some folks who are in Kansas City and Chicago. My brother's in Florida. I've got other relatives in Florida. I've got relatives in Hong Kong. You know, we're up here. We were in Maine. This is not unusual. We're not an unusual family. Families are spread out. Some of them stay in touch. Some of them not so much. Some families who live 3 blocks from each other don't talk to each other. But people need a local family. Sometimes you just need somebody that's going to help shovel your snow or watch the rabbit when you go out of town or take you for rides to pick up your car at the shop or care and give you a hug when you're alone. Sometimes you just need a local human being to be your family. College students go away to college, and there's a point in most college students' lives, if they leave the house for college, when home isn't where they grew up anymore. Home is the new house, the house where they live with their college students. You know, Ben definitely has passed that point now, you know. Home is East Seneca Ave in Ithaca, New York. And single adults form ties with friends in ways that are far different from people who have a whole lot of people living in the house with them. Family is sometimes simply geographical. Next door to my parents in New Jersey, there's a couple by the name of Art and Adrian. And they are a couple about my age, maybe a little older than me. They're definitely family. I mean, we have no biological relation with them, but with me in New England and my brother in Florida, they're the ones that are there if the garbage is too heavy to be pulled out, or the Christmas tree needs to be taken down, or the snow needs to be moved a little bit more. And my brother and I have expressed to Art and Adrian many times our gratitude for them being family. This is part of our church's mission. Our church's mission is to be a family here for people who may or may not have family. Our church's mission is to be a family for people who really need it in a whole lot of ways. Family is also people who share experiences. Jesus looked out and said, "These are my family." And he meant, these are the people that I travel with together, the people who we share an RV together, we eat together, we sleep at the same time. When one of us gets a cold, we all get a cold. According to the Gospel of Luke, telling the same story that Christine read, they all heard God together. Family are people who have experiences together. Family are the ones who are involved in the wrapping paper fights at Christmas time, or all have orange drizzle cake for my birthday, or family are the ones who do certain things together. My Ben and his friend and his classmate Nathaniel last year went on a trip up into Montreal, where they basically got in a car and went, and then eventually came back. And they had some wonderful adventures. And because of that, they're more like brothers than classmates now, after sharing those rather unusual and sometimes a little scary to their moms types of adventures. Church is the same way. We have experiences together. This church especially, I can't believe you guys tell me so many stories. Seems to me like, first of all, everybody's related to each other here. But not only biologically, I'll mention somebody and everybody will say, "Oh, yeah, well, she used to live next door to Mrs. So-and-so, but that was, their moms were this and their dads did this, and they were the ones that used to run the craft fair, and do you remember the time?" And you go back, hundreds of years with these stories. We experience things together. That's what it means to be a family. Jesus also knew that family are people who share a common purpose. Jesus looked out and he didn't exclude Mary and the kids. Rather, he said that anybody who follows him is part of his family. So think about that. You, being here this morning, are a relation of Jesus's. You're one of Jesus's relatives. Da Vinci Code aside, all that stuff about, that there are still descendants of Mary Magdalene and Jesus today, but you are very much one of Jesus's family members. Anyone who follows Jesus is family. Anyone who believes in Jesus, Jesus believes in them. Anybody who wants to be part of the family is adopted and chosen forever. Because we're all working for a common goal. Now this is where it gets messy. We as Baptists believe in a thing we call soul freedom. And what that means is that we want to share Jesus' love. We want to share words about peace and justice and morality and certain messages. But every one of us has a different idea about how to do it. And like most families, we bump into each other when we try to figure this out. Most families have discussions sometimes on how to do things. Same thing in the church. We all have certain ideas of what we want to do. How to do it in a common group really varies. Family is messy sometimes. I remember the first time my daughter-in-law Laura, when she and Stephen were still dating, my Aunt Ellen and Uncle Joe had come up to Bangor to visit us. And at the time, Uncle Joe was really the patriarch of my mom's side of the family. And he has since passed, but he was a big executive in AT&T and very much in charge of being in charge of everybody. Yeah. And so Uncle Joe had some words to say, some suggestions about life to Stephen and Laura. They were more than suggestions. Uncle Joe, this is what needs to happen. So after we were done with lunch, I said to Laura, well, what do you think of lunch with Uncle Joe and Aunt Ellen? And she said, oh, they're family. But she's right. We're family. It's messy. But we all want the same basic things as a church. All this messiness is worth the effort because we're a church family. This is my first of 4 sermons about our church mission statement. The first Sunday in February is our annual meeting, and we're going to vote on this church mission statement. Now, we've worked on this for a long time. We had large group meetings, we had small group meetings, you filled some things out, we ate together, we met in people's homes, and then we had a group that brought all the data together. And we came up with 4 statements of who we are as a church. As a church, we are people who care as a family, learn what Jesus teaches, grow in our faith, and share God's loving grace. And each of those has a lot to say about it. Today, we're thinking about how we care as a church family. And so as I close, I think I'll share a personal experience on how you care as a church family. This Saturday coming, this Wednesday coming, the 11th, will be 2 years that Ned and I will have been here, officially. So happy anniversary. So I can tell you in these 2 years that you're good at this caring thing. A lot has happened in our personal lives since you've been here. You've seen us through the loss of Ned's dad, Ben's illness, now my father's illness. And you've always gone above and beyond to give me whatever I need, to help, to challenge me, to hold me. Now, it could be that you're just really good employers, but you don't do this only for me. I've seen you do it for other people, and I've seen you do it for people you don't even know, and I've seen you do it for people you don't even like. That's what family does. So keep up the good family love, my friends. And my brothers and sisters, let us continue by singing another hymn, number 473.